to the lady in the white shoes. She'll take all your money and drink all your booze. She ain't got no cherry, but that ain't no sin. She still got the box that the cherry came in. Cheers.
Boom.
I specifically remember that one because when I was teaching camps, and like I told you all that these people were crazy anyway, but they would go around the room and just do toast after toast. And that was like a classic. And I had never heard it before. So
wow. So those people, the cheer people really liked to party.
Yeah, and really liked dirty toast. But hey, cheers, y'all.
Nothing like a dirty toast in front of a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, well, you're like, okay, we're gonna go teach the youth of America tomorrow. Like,
yeah, like it's just the principle of that. It's like, yeah, okay, so we're gonna go teach some 14-year-olds tomorrow, and then we're all gonna smoke cigs on the way.
And hopefully we're not hungover or still drunk. Yeah, pretty good time.
Hope for the best, I guess.
I need to add more to my list. I have some more funny stories that I thought of that I just like at the time I was like, yeah, like this is probably normal. And looking back, I'm like, that was not okay.
Not normal at all.
So anyway, that's not what today's episode is about. Welcome back to Case of the Monday.
Welcome. We're here. So Ashton is hungover today.
That's correct.
You know what I think?
That is correct.
Is it School of Rock where he's like, listen, kids, I'm hungover. We're gonna watch a movie today. And the one kid's like, you're a drunk. Like, you got a disease, man. And he's like,
are you an alcoholic?
Yeah. No. Are you an alcoholic? No. I was hungover means I was drunk yesterday, not today.
We went to this wine bar last night. And the server bartender guy, he's like the same guy's always working. He's super cool. And he told us, he's like, yeah, like we're expecting a baby. And we're like, oh my God, congratulations. And we're joking. We're like, well, she can have a glass of wine, not a bottle of wine. And he's like, yeah, no, she's not going to do that. And I was like, oh, so she's like a good mom. And he's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, she's like normal.
And we're like, she can have one. It's good for the baby. And we kept drinking like, oh, I forget what we were saying. Because before we went to dinner and the server was like, oh, like, is there a graduate? Because it's like graduation season. We're like, no, but like we're pregnant. Knock on wood, mom. No, we're not.
And they're like, ooh, whoa.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm paying the price today.
Oh my God. Well, when we went out for Peyton's birthday, Haley came and she's due in really like 3 weeks from now. So this was a couple weeks ago, and she got an NA Bush like at the bar just because she was just like, it makes me feel like I'm like part of the, part of the crew. But she was like, she said she was like, I feel like I have to overly display my belly and like make sure people see that it's red on the top, because if not, they're just going to see belly and a beer and they're going to be like, is that lady drinking? And she was like, I feel like I have to have this label on display like the entire time that we're here.
Oh my God. That is so, well, actually we're going to a concert tonight. So if I don't feel better, I might just be like, guys, I'll be the DD. Like, I'm not drinking, but they have
that means you need to just start. You need to like at the end of your work.
You just start drinking now.
Yeah. Like honestly, that day when I threw up on Peyton's birthday and we had to go see his family, I thought the first stop, because we had to go to 2 family events. One, I don't know them as well. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's a family and they'll probably have beer there. Like, and Peyton was like, maybe just like, if it still doesn't get better, just drink a beer. Like maybe like just some hair of the dog will help or something. They did not have beer. And I was like, oh my God. It was, and it was all the way like in Tonganoxie. Like, so it was like an hour drive. And I was just like dying. It was right by where we did that wedding, actually.
Yes. Oh my God. That's so far away.
Yeah. And then, so by the time we got to the second families, which was Cody and Christie's, we knew they'd have alcohol. And I was like, please, somebody give me some life. And I did have a little tiny glass of wine, and it helped me stay alive, but I was just more tired. So I think you need to go ahead. Look at my shirt. It says Whiskey Girl. Mom bought it for me.
You are a whiskey girl.
I also like, it's funny because like I used to drink more whiskey than I do now, but I will have a beer or like a seltzer, or like I'll do like a vodka soda thing sometimes. So I don't drink a lot of whiskey anymore, but Mom does buy me whiskey shirts. So I have to embrace it. So I'll drink my one whiskey for the month, maybe tonight, just because I'm wearing the shirt.
So ever since the Derby, which I'm not like a dark liquor kind of gal, and we did like bourbon tasting. So it's like, it's Kentucky. You have to have bourbon.
Yeah.
And then we're at the Derby. I'm like, well, I do have to have mint juleps. They had like I've been craving them. They were so
What are they?
good. I do not know, but it is bourbon and this and the
It's
rest
called
is
a what? I don't even know what that is.
a mint julep.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Um,
No,
I
I was
actually
curious.
had neither. Yeah, no, it was so good. They were so strong. They were so good. And we were talking about it at the
Nice.
wine bar last night. We're like, man, like none of us are big into bourbon, but like those were really good. Or were we really drunk?
Well, we'll go with this. I'll keep this in the frame just so I look normal.
No, you
If you
sound
want.
like you're like a pilot. Like it's
Do
better
I
than-
really? Is it bad?
it's just like it's just different. It's just different. So if you're not watching on YouTube, so we're having technical difficulties again, per usual. So Jordan's using her like work headset, her gamer headset. She's a streamer now.
Check 10-4. My thing is like, so people like that do the Twitch, whatever that's called. What are they playing? Like, are they playing like those like medieval like role player games, or is it like a Call of Duty situation?
Oh my God. You might not remember this. Do you remember that really weird game that we would play in like elementary school and you had a little avatar, but it was like kind of Asian, like the game? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
And you could play online with people and you would just go down and do
RuneScape.
like different
it Rune-
quests. Was it
Was it
that?
RuneScape? Yeah, it was kind of like medieval themed and like
And I just remember you could make your person stand up and then you could make them lay down and like crawl on the ground. Do you remember this?
yeah, it was weird. It was so weird. And like
We had too much access to the internet. Like I don't know if anyone else's
we had the internet
parents-
when it was very not secure. Like
don't-
addictinggames.com. Like
I remember one time, and I was so embarrassed by this years later, but it was addictinggames.com. I'm playing on like my computer or something. And I remember I'm sitting on the couch with mom, and it was some game where you like had to draw lines to get like your little ball to like roll. And there were people would make their own. So there was like SpongeBob one, there was another one.
oh yeah.
I'm like 8. I don't know anything. And I remember there was this one and it was like this weird, like, I didn't know what the picture was. Like, I didn't know what they were drawing. And mom looks over and she's like, what the hell are you playing? And I'm like, and I'm all sassy. I'm like, it's this game, mom. Like, it's so fun. Like, and she's like, that's not appropriate. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just a game. And she didn't explain to me that it was a penis. That I was
like
looking
the game.
at a penis and balls is what I was drawing, like the veins.
And
she
mom
didn't
was
tell me.
like, what the fuck is that?
I finished the level and mom was just like, I don't want you to play that game anymore. And I was like, why?
Mom, I can see mom so uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to explain to you what that is, but like, let's not play that game anymore.
And I have no idea until years later, and the memory popped in my head, and I was like, "Oh my God, that was a penis."
That's so uncomfortable. You're
I
like,
don't
"I'm
know
really
how
glad."
we got here, but I'm keeping it in.
Hey, honestly, it is tied to teachers because at school, anytime there's computer day, everybody's on addictinggames.com. It was just
The
like a
impossible
thing.
quiz. Obsessed.
Oh yeah, the impossible quiz. So you just memorized all the answers.
Yeah, I tried to play like years later in college, and I didn't get past. I was playing with Clayton, and he goes to skip a question. I'm like, no. There are no skips. You can't use the skips. Yeah,
No.
he was not.
It's really
into-
amazing. So we've gotten on a tangent, but we said we were going to do Teacher Appreciation Week, but since we were late, this is the last week of school. When this releases, will be the last week of school.
Mhm.
So congrats to all the teachers. You're almost at the end of your school year, and then you can go buck wild over the summer. I don't know about you, but my teacher friends, those of you that I'm friends with on Snapchat, you party harder than anyone I know.
A girl I knew one of the girls I cheered with in college, she's now a math teacher. This girl was crazy. Like, she was the crazy friend that like went harder than anyone else. And I was like, you're going to teach middle school? Like, what?
Yeah. They are. And it's like, I think, my teacher friends, like, I know when they get out for their summer break, like, they're at Hot Country Nights every Thursday. Like, they're going wild at the lake all weekend. Like, there's no turning down time. But I get it, because you guys have to deal with kids for 9 months out of the year. You get that summer to just like be yourself and just like go to town and I love it. I'm here for it. Yeah. So this episode here, it's for the teachers. We have some news stories about teachers. I have 2 teacher stories that I got from like TikTok and stuff that are pretty good. But yeah, like I think we can get into it. Or I have a couple intro points that we can
I
talk
had a
about.
funny intro. I had a really funny one. I had something happen at my work this week that I put on my Snapchat story, but I just like had to share. Like I just wanted to bitch for like a quick second. Can I go off?
Yeah, go off.
Y'all mind
Do
if I
it.
go off? Y'all mind if I pop off?
Go, Tammy, go.
No, this happened this week and I was just like shocked. And I know we all work with people that like just like really grind our gears. And like I try to remind myself, like, you know, everyone has a different communication style. Like I try to be mindful of that because honestly, it just helps me not fester and stew over like the people I really don't enjoy working with. This person, I'm keeping it very vague because I don't want to get fired. But this person, I used to have like a bigger issue working with this person. And since I've just kind of like learned to like let it go, like whatever, like water off a duck's back. But this week, this person really tried to come for me. And I'll just explain the situation. So for one of my clients, we were launching this like new project for them. And they had given us a Google Sheet of all the details, everything. I guess something had gotten mixed up with another team where like they actually hadn't launched. And so the other person, one of the people working on this account with me, reached out, was like, hey, he reached out to me separately first and said, hey, I just want to see, actually, no, he didn't even say hello, which also really annoys me when people don't say hello. Just, it's so quick. Just be nice. Just be a normal person.
Just say hi.
Anyway, they reach out to me and say, what's the status on this? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, like I finished that last week. It actually launched on Monday. So we're good to go. And they respond back and say, oh, I think it's supposed to launch on the 19th, not the 16th. And I'm like, no, like I'm looking at the Google Sheet right now and it says 5/16 is when we launch. They respond back, oh, can you send me a screenshot of that? I send the screenshot, no reply. So I'm thinking, okay, great. It's over.
We're
fine.
in the clear. Yeah.
We're in the clear. So that was a private conversation. Now, let me pull up my team's messages. Now we are jumping to the group chat, which literally has like 8 to 10 people that work on the same account. One of the other like people, not like in charge, but on this account that helps like lead our phone calls, they say, I think they had seen an email from the client and they were just like, oh, like if our components of this project are incorrect, then like, are they right in the client's tracker sheet, like the Google Doc? So I respond, yep, I double checked my account just now and everything checks out according to the Google Sheet. The person that had private messaged me responds, just HMMMM.
Ew, so rude.
Yeah, first message. Second message, looks like the sheet says that account is supposed to be on the 19th. Bitch, I sent you the screenshot.
It's like this visual evidence here, and you're still trying to be a dick. Like it's like,
And now it's in the group chat, which is what I really have an issue with. I'm like, you're trying to make me look like a fool. I'm like, everyone else has access to the sheet dog. Like,
yeah.
And granted, there was another component for like a sister account that was launching on the 19th. So I'm thinking, oh, he just read it wrong. But now he's doubling down in front of everyone that I'm wrong after it was just the,
Well, and he just looks like a dumbass. Like it's just like, dude, like you're trying to throw her under the bus in front of your boss and whoever all these other people are. And it's like, but like clearly you have the date wrong and it's in front of everybody. We have screenshots of the date and you're still like, nope, double down. And it's like, you know what, you just look dumb at the end of the day. Like there's no reason. So
yeah. And it's a stupid thing. And like at the time, like now it's been a couple of days. I'm like, hey, that was stupid. Like he just looks dumb. But so I didn't respond because I'm like, I'm not going to be the bitch and be like, actually, blah, blah, because no one likes that person either. I'm not going to cause fake drama in this group chat. Now I kind of wish I would have just like dropped in the screenshot that I took and been like, I'm just gonna leave this here. I didn't say anything though. No one says anything. And I even sent a screenshot to one of my friends I work with, and I'm like, am I dyslexic? Does this say the 19?
You're like, dude.
And my friend was like, no, he's probably talking about like the other account. But I was like, don't make me look like a fool. And don't cause drama. Don't come for me. So yeah, that's what happened.
No, people like, I had someone do that at work too recently, where like they immediately like, you know, because with us I test like medical devices and stuff, but like the domains have to be ready, like the code upgrades have to be in place in order before we like schedule anything. And but for some reason, you know, these people that are in charge of timelines just come up with their own timelines, and they're like, you know, why isn't this done yet? And I'm like, okay, well, like it's not even ready to test yet. It's not even my fault. And when I tell them that, you know, in a nice professional way, like, hey, like it's not ready yet, like we'll get it done whenever, pulls in his boss, my boss, blah, 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 sandwich like teams. And I mean, like it happens all the time, enough to where like me and my boss are just like, LOL, like, you know, okay, like it just, you know, someone that doesn't get the process. But it's still funny to me when like somebody immediately pulls in their boss and your boss and all this stuff. And it's just like, you know, I've never ever at work been that way. Like if anything, I will tell my boss like, hey, like this is what's going on, but I will never be like, let me look up who your boss is and then start a chat. Like I just don't get it. I've never been that person. I never will be.
Yeah. So. And me and this person, we're like literally at the same level. Like they started a couple months after I did.
Peers, so, yeah. It's not like it's a hierarchy issue.
Yeah. I'm like, you're just trying to look good and trying to call me out. Let's say I really was wrong, which would have been fine. Like, okay, I would have rather you message me privately, because my feelings do get hurt because I am sensitive. I am a Pisces. But yeah, if you're going to call me out, you better be right. So
at least show up or shut up, right?
Real. But yeah, I'm like, I forget. I'm like, everyone works with these bozos. Bozo King Supreme. Literally is what I call them on my Snapchat story. I was like, literally bozo. So yeah.
People suck. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
aye.
So
yeah.
Well, that's really exciting. My work week has been boring. We took Miller to his first baseball game last weekend, which was cool. But I will say going to a baseball game with a kid is so much different than going as an adult, because you know, as an adult, you're like, yeah, like we can like drink some beers and like tailgate and do all this stuff. And when you have a kid, it's like you're just chasing a toddler the whole time. So
yeah,
a very different experience. But yeah, so it was very boring to say. I didn't have like super exciting, no hungover stories this week, but I had a couple talking points though for our teacher topic. So yeah, question number one, did any inappropriate high school teacher hookups ever happen when you were in school, or during or after?
I didn't even know what a penis was. No, I didn't know.
It's fair.
No, not that I remember. I remember hearing, and I think you'll remember who this teacher was. But I had heard that like one of the teacher's wives had actually been a former student. And I think he was married at the time when they met.
Yes.
So that
it's the same person we're talking about. Yep. So
drama.
They dated. This teacher, he had like a wife and kids and stuff, and you know, and then ended up he dated a former student. So they didn't date till she was out of school.
Yeah.
But yeah, like divorced his wife and they got married and whatever. And that happened with multiple teachers actually. Nobody did it during high school, but it happened after, which you know, to each his own, but I don't know. Those teachers were still old for me. Like I would be like, yeah, you're a little old, man.
Yeah.
Like
even the hot ones, I was like
you're like good looking for like a dad, but like you're not like, I'm not gonna want to date with you or anything.
No, I'd be like, are we gonna talk about social studies? Like, I don't know.
Like
how
what
bad I did on this test.
I mean, honestly, when we think about it this way, the age difference, the awkwardness that you were in school together, like, you know, they were your teacher, like what is the conversation there? You know, like what is there to even talk about? I find it super uncomfortable, but I'm just an uncomfortable person. So it's fine.
Yeah. And I couldn't do it. Kudos to the people that have and do, but couldn't do it. Crazy.
I mean, isn't there that movie, the Adam Sandler movie, where it's like he gets his teacher pregnant or something? Isn't that what it
No,
is?
are you thinking of Billy Madison?
No, it's like a one where it's like, is it That's My Boy or something? And it's like,
I have
I'm
not seen that
looking it
movie.
up.
Oh my
I'm
God.
looking it up right now. Hang on.
I was thinking, what's the Billy Madison scene where he's like, Veronica? And
Miss Veronica.
they're like studying but she's like, I'm your teacher, but like I like you because you're old like me. Okay, sweet. So my weird news this week, it's not actually teacher related, but it's like mom related. So I wanted to hear your take on it if
Right.
Miller were to do this. So this is a UPI article. And so basically, this, and I don't know where this took place, but a 4-year-old boy was able to get a hold of his mom's cell phone. I guess it was unlocked for whatever reason. But he did order 31 McDonald's hamburgers on DoorDash. Yeah. And like I've heard of like kids, or I remember like when Northwest was like maybe like 5 or 6, and Kanye tweeting about like, they really need to have like parental controls on these apps because North just spent like $40 on apps. And we're like, if Kanye is complaining about
$40
on apps, like, okay, I guess like he's not too out of touch with reality. But yeah, so guess how much this toddler spent on DoorDash for 31 hamburgers.
I know they're not $1 anymore. They're at least like 2 something. So I'm gonna go with $100.
Close, 91 with all of the
Nice.
fees and everything. Yeah. Which I was like dying. I was like, oh my God, like
I would be so mad. I would be like, are you kidding me? But I mean, like, he's 2, so like, what are you gonna do? So
yeah, 31. And he only ate half of one. I was gonna say guess, but he didn't even eat a full hamburger.
No, Miller would maybe eat a bite. He's more of a
Yeah.
French fry guy. So he's a French fried chicken nugget guy. So
Nice. But yeah, so the mom I think she ended up reaching out on Facebook to her neighbors, was like, this is a situation. If anyone wants a hamburger, like come on by. Like he literally ate one, not even. So
if anybody needs them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited for Ez Miller. Well, actually, no, you guys have been really good about like not giving him the phone and like making sure like if he does have a phone, it's like locked and everything. So
yeah, no, we do the guided access. We learned that early on. And even even mom and dad noticed the other day when we were on the boat, like Miller's not like begging and reaching for phones as much as he used to, which is good.
Yeah.
And it's probably just because we're good about not like just handing him a tablet all the time. Now, like there'll be situations where like I need you to be entertained because we're around a bunch of people. Like we went to a grad party last night and he was like all over the place. And I was like, okay, time to bring out CoComelon. And then like, I'll let him watch it. But that's like the only time. Like if we're at home, we really like, we'll watch cartoons a little bit in the morning while we're eating breakfast. But like, even at night, we watch our own shows. Like I'm very much like, no, where I'm not giving you a phone so you can like accidentally order things. So
yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Well, what's your weird news?
It actually was something that happened to Peyton the other day. So it was the senior's last day at Ray Peck, and we drive by that high school on the way. And so I figured this out later on, but he calls me and he's like, oh my God, there's like hundreds of kids on like dirt bikes, ATVs, like you name it. Like he's like hundreds of kids. Like I'm like, what the hell's going on? And he said they were all like, and even parents were outside watching this all happen. Like it was like, it must be a tradition or like a funny thing. But looking back on it later, apparently it's a anything but cars on your last day of high school. So you have to ride anything but a car to school. So
That's
they
so
were
fun.
riding like ATVs and like side by sides and like this one Snapchat, obviously this didn't have a Ray Peck, but someone like there was a group of kids that rode their horses to school, like like they live in like a farm.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so funny. And so it was pretty cool. Peyton was like, I mean, it wasn't cool at the time when Peyton was dealing with it because he said they were very rambunctious and they were like flipping him off and stuff.
And he's like, I'm just a dad, I'm just a dude.
Oh, and he was like, and they don't have helmets on. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. You're right. They don't have helmets on. Yeah.
He's a father now.
So, but I saw it when I went to pick up too. Like did I see it in the morning and he saw on the way home? Either way, we both saw them leaving, coming back. And I was like, they don't even have helmets on. This is not safe. And I was just like, okay, lame mom, like shut up, like let the kids
Chill.
be.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I should have looked up for this episode like a good senior pranks that have happened because so our high school, they were really strict. They're like, if you pull a senior prank, like you are not walking
Yeah.
at graduation. And that's just what they said. I don't know if anyone like if that actually happens. Like, well, I don't know. No one ever did any in our school, but I think Ray Peck, they were the ones that had like a camel the last Wednesday of high school, like a giant camel outside, and it was live for
That's
Hump Day.
amazing.
Yeah, I think that was like my senior year or
That's
something.
awesome. We
But
did like a food fight. That was pretty funny. Oh, Dad has a funny one he told me. So the name of his school was Verina High School. And
yeah.
they took like they put like a big box over one of the letters and they made it
Mhm.
spell Vagina High School. But he said it was up for at least a week, like because it was like hard to get to. Like it was impressive how
Mhm.
like think about it, our high school, how high up the lettering was. So
Yeah.
it was like a feat to like get it.
Vagina High School. Oh my God, that's so
Vagina
funny.
High School. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
I'm
Clayton,
looking this. Go ahead.
Clayton, he said they tried to do, him and his buddies tried to do a senior prank. And I forget, it was something like they were going to try to like lock all the doors or make it so people like couldn't actually get into school. It like totally failed. Like I don't even know what they tried to do, but it was like I think
And
they
you
tried
were
to
like,
maybe like
yeah.
super glue. Like it reminded me of what was that show we would watch on MTV where it was all about high school pranks. I remember there was specifically one where they like
Oh,
cement blocks so you physically couldn't open the doors, or it was they tried to do something similar.
yes.
Did not work. That show was too good. So
Oh,
good.
High School Stories. I was gonna say my favorite
Yeah.
one from that show was this was obviously before the days of like social media and stuff, but
Yeah.
they tried to get school canceled for a day. And they even
Yeah.
like had made like sent an email from like a fake email and like sent it to the radio
Yes.
stations and stuff and said, hey, there's a water main break. Like East High School's not gonna be open today.
Mm-hmm.
And they got so far as like to where only maybe half the people showed up at school because it was on the news, it was on the radio
Yeah.
stations, like it was like all over the place. And their punishment, like I remember, I don't know why I remember this episode so well, but
Mm-hmm.
their punishment, like they obviously called their parents and stuff, and they were like, okay, either they don't walk at graduation or you have to spend the entire school day with your mom. And these
Yes.
and the moms were like, sweet. So they like
Yes.
hung out at school all day.
Oh my God, that is so funny. My favorite episode, or the only one I can think of, is the cricket one. Because I think I was so grossed out
Oh,
when they've got like 5,000 crickets. I'm
yes.
like, well, that's just a nuisance to like literally everyone. I think I don't know what their punishment was, but I think it like actually was
Yeah.
like
Or there
law
was
punishment or something.
yes, or there was one where they put like fish in like the duck system, like fish from the fish market. And then it like
Yeah,
within a week it was like rotting fish like throughout like the high school. Isn't that
that's
terrible?
horrible.
My second one I had, actually, I thought this was just kind of interesting. So in New Orleans, there is a like a city, I don't know if it's like an ordinance, it's just within the city of New Orleans.
Mhm.
But it's a law that's been in place since 1922. Obviously, was like a racial law to begin with that
Mhm.
jazz music will not be played in schools. And it's like obviously it was like a race thing, and
Yeah.
now I mean everybody ignores it, obviously, and like they play
Mhm.
jazz music in schools. But I just thought it was so funny that it's just more like that. It's just never been changed and it's still in place that technically it's illegal to play jazz music in schools. So
Crazy. And I feel like that's
yeah,
such like a big jazz town. So it's just like
like can we
that's so
just like
interesting.
just nix
Yeah.
that? Like can someone write off that we don't have to that's not a law anymore?
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking like the band class, like that's just like, oh, like sorry, no jazz kids. My bad.
No, no, jazz band in this
Oh my
school.
God. That's so weird. That's so
I
weird.
know.
That's so funny.
Well, so yeah, so that's our weird news for the week. So we have stories now.
Both of mine are from a BuzzFeed article, and I specifically looked up like funny parent teacher conference stories because like I just can't even imagine like yeah like teachers having to deal with like crappy kids, but then having to deal with crappy parents seems like just as bad, if not worse. So hopefully our parents were never like this. My first story, it says the one in which the mom brought her lawyer who sat behind her rolling his eyes the whole time, which I'm confused. I'm like, why would you bring your lawyer to the parent teacher conference. But anyway, so, and then it goes on to say, this was the same mom who, when I addressed her first graders' homework being written in cursive and ink, she said, well, nowhere in the student handbook does it say a parent can't do it, their child's homework for them. And it's like, what? You don't want them to learn? And you
would be like,
you didn't even fake it. And it's like, yeah, that's
the fact that you were just like, I'm just going to do it for her. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. And you didn't even fake it. It's like, it's cursive and in pen. Like, it's perfect. It's like,
and like, they don't even teach cursive anymore. B, she's in first grade. So
yeah. Oh my God. And actually for my second, maybe third story, I just remembered some from when I was in school. So I'll wait. I'll just do those.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Okay,
So
interesting.
What do you got?
All right. So this first story I have is about a middle school in New Jersey. I guess, and this happened not recently. It would have been when schools were, when we were in school, they didn't really they didn't have everybody had an iPad or anything like that. So this was when they were first implementing that technology. So it's still fairly new to people. So this middle school in New Jersey, everybody got an iPad at the school, staff and students. And they were going to try to implement an online learning platform and stuff. And so what happened was this science teacher accidentally airdropped his dick pics to the entire school. I know.
Jail time.
Oh yeah, he was immediately fired, and it's apparently because it happened. No, this had to be fairly recent because it said that this article had said that they were still in the process of taking legal action. So
yeah.
Oh, how does that accidentally happen? You accidentally airdrop and it said pics, multiple.
Oh man, that's crazy. Because I'm thinking, maybe if they accidentally got uploaded to the cloud, but why would you take those images?
It was full on share airdrop. And then it was probably a group, maybe they had a school group because it was a new technology, they didn't have it set up or something.
Yeah. On your school iPad, why are you taking those images on
that's what I'm saying. Why are you linking it to your personal shit? And
yeah. Oh,
can you imagine being in middle school and getting airdrop from Mr. Smith? And it's oh my God, what is this?
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Isn't that horrible? Yeah. So that was my first one. So that's my first teacher story of the week.
Wow. Well, that was your first one. That was really
my first one.
Well, now I'm going to look stupid. Oh my God.
No, it's going to be fine.
So my second one, I was in the 5th grade. This is a true story. And it reminded me of so the first story I told this reminded me of it. So when I was in 5th grade, I remember, and I don't know, it wasn't for a field trip, but for some reason we had to have our parents sign whatever homework assignment or sheet of paper. I don't know what it was for. But anyway, so, I have mom and dad do it, or honestly, you were pretty good at faking dad. So if I
would sign dads all the time.
I would ask you. And so I turn it in, whatever, we go on to class. The next day rolls around. And I remember, and this teacher, I actually went, her son was in my graduating class and he went to Mizzou. So super cool family. So it's funny to think of this teacher now as a normal person seeing these papers and be like, what the hell, guys? So basically the next day of class rolls around and she sits us down. I mean, before class started, she's like, okay, so I have to level with you guys. I asked you all to have your parents sign this piece of paper. Most of you, totally great. But some of you very clearly forged the signature. And she's and I know this. And she's it's 2 students in particular. And she's one person wrote it in print, wrote their parents' name in print. Obviously, it's not your parents' signature. The next person at least did it in cursive, but they did practice on the back of the assignment. Yeah, so she's and I know who you are, obviously. So we're gonna have a chat after class, but yeah, just so everyone knows, don't, if you're gonna fake it, don't do that. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Yeah, and so I'm thinking
we know they're kids. That's funny.
Yeah, we know this family, and so to think of her as a normal actual person, not just with her teacher head on. Like, oh my God, like you got to be kidding me, guys. Seriously? Print?
Print.
And,
The
and you
other one
practice.
practiced.
Yeah. So,
That
which I
is
was like,
good.
I was like, damn, like it wasn't me, but I was like, I would have done the same thing. Like now I know if I'm gonna do dads, like I gotta knock on.
You got to get it right in the first try or practice on another paper.
For all the
not on
judges,
back.
for all the judges and policemen listening, this is a joke. Yeah, no, don't practice on
Wink,
the back.
wink.
No, like when would mom and dad ever have to sign anything for us anymore? Though?
No.
But now we know.
They'd
Don't
be
practice
like,
on the
you can
back.
consider yourself, you're almost 30. Like, you're fine.
Oh my God. But yeah,
That
so
is
was my
good.
second
I like
one.
that one. All right. My next one, I stumbled across on TikTok and I peed my pants. So,
Mhm.
okay. Are you ready? That's how good this is. I
Oh,
have to
I'm
ask if you're
ready.
Okay. This is from @JustFlint. It's fine on TikTok. So this lady's an elementary school teacher. She's really into rock climbing. And she actually a couple years ago injured herself pretty seriously while climbing. Like somehow
Mhm.
her foot essentially ripped off from her leg. Like I don't know how that happens. I don't want to think about how that happens, but it did. But all is well. They were able to reattach it, and she's fine now. Like it took like a good
Mhm.
6 to 9 months of recovery and lots of surgeries. All was fine. But the recovery did take really long, and she had to teach from a wheelchair for like 6 months. So during that time while she was teaching in the wheelchair, she had a former student reach out and say she was thinking about her and wanting to get her a gift. And this girl was maybe in middle school at the time, so she was a little bit older, but like it's not like she was an adult. So her mom had to drop her off to deliver the gift. She was like, "Oh, I'd love the gift, you know, whatever." So she shows up to deliver this gift, and the gift is literally, this is not kidding because she showed it on the screen, is literally looks like a prop from a haunted house, and it's a severed foot. And she's like, I was speechless.
That's not what I was expecting.
And
Oh my God.
I'm wondering, like, why did this girl think her teacher almost lost her foot? Why would the gift be a fake foot?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking like, was she trying to be nice, funny, or was she trying
No,
to
she
be
was
like,
trying to be genuine and was just like, I thought you would, I was thinking of you.
this
I
reminded
thought you
me of
would
you?
like this. And like, why did the mom allow the girl to do this? Like, if Miller came to me and was like,
Oh
my
my
teacher
God.
lost her foot, can we give her this? I would be like, no.
No. Oh my God, that is so funny.
Isn't that horrible? I was
Oh my
like,
God.
if you
That's
guys can't tell,
awful.
I bring the really like horrible, dark
You're
comedy.
you're built different, Jordan. You're
built
not like other
different.
girls. Oh my God, that is so funny.
I just couldn't believe it because like she's telling this in a very calm, like the same way I deliver stories. Like it's pretty calm and chill.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and she brings me this, and then she brings it in like frame, and it was like she still was like, I still keep it on my desk for shits and giggles.
At least she had like a good spirit about it. She wasn't like this traumatizing thing happens.
I mean, yeah,
Thank
she
you.
was just like, I was speechless. Like, what do you say to that? Like, thank you, sweetie. Like, as I'm in a wheelchair, I almost lost my foot months ago. She was still in a wheelchair when the girl gave her the gift.
Oh my
Isn't
God,
that
that is so
horrible?
funny. That's
It's
awesome.
so bad.
That is so funny.
So yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
My last story is from middle school. And
Personal story.
a personal story. That's why I couldn't find good like school stories. So I'll just talk about my school experience, and we'll just feel bad.
These poor teachers.
We'll just feel bad for the teachers. So when I started, so our middle school was 7th and 8th. And so when I started 7th grade with like my best friend, I remember they handed out these sheets of paper that were like, hey, if you want to join a club, like you can sign up for these. And I should have gotten the hint because they weren't like normal clubs. It was like children of divorced parents. Are you addicted to drugs and alcohol in middle school? Are you like all these like
Adult
helpful
topics? Are you an alcoholic? Like it's like I'm 12. Like,
These weren't
what?
clubs, they were support groups. And one of them was Friendship Club. And so me, again, very naive, without talking to anyone, I signed up for Friendship Club. Because I like to make friends. I don't feel that bad about it because my best friend Molly, she signed up.
Wait, were you guys in class together signing up? Oh, you
no, we're both stupid. And I remember we're on the bus that day, and I'm like, oh my God, Molly, did you sign up for Friendship Club? She's like, hell yeah, I signed up for Friendship Club. I want to make friends. And like,
everyone else on the bus is like, you guys are dumb.
Yeah. So we get there. So we get to the first day of Friendship Club. And it actually was kind of nice because you got pulled out of class, which is the reason we kept the gig going for as long as we did. So we get to the first day of Friendship Club. Very quickly, we realize we do not belong. And like, I will say on the first day, there were a few other girls that like also thought like this was literally just like people hanging out. We didn't realize this was a support group for people who didn't have any friends, who weren't so great at making friends. And like the topics were like how to approach people. And like, oh, are you
I'm crying.
And so first day, Molly and I quickly realized, oh, this is not what we thought it was going to be. But we do get out of class and we do get to hang out for a little bit. So like, we got to keep this going. And so we would literally walk in together.
Meanwhile, tell who the teacher is. It's the counselor who is like friends with our parents.
Who's a very good family friend. And actually is going to be possibly my future neighbor. So yeah.
Yeah. So she knows Molly and Ashton are not just friends, they're best friends and they do everything together. So it was like, you guys have trouble making friends? Well, you guys are actually very popular and you happen to be best friends. So
up for interpretation. But yeah.
Go ahead.
So we would literally walk in together like hand in hand as soon as Friendship Club started. No, we were not.
Oh, you guys played the part.
We did. We would make stuff up. Like we would be really sad one day and be like, yeah, like I don't have like any friends. Like no one sits with me at lunch. Clayton's like, you are a jerk.
And you guys told them nobody sat with you at lunch.
Probably. I don't remember the lies we told, but it sounds like something we would say. And everyone else in the class just like looked at us and they're like, are you sure? Okay. And then we started to escalate things. And like we would say that the other one was bullying us.
Molly's bullying me.
Yeah, Molly would be like, yeah, Ashton's bullying me. And I'm like, that's not true. You were bullying me, like just for the plot. Like we're getting crazy. We're getting too confident now. And the teacher is like, really? Okay. And then we leave and we'd be like, so do you want to hang out today? Like we clearly was an act. And so we finally stopped going. And I think what happened was, because I had to ask Molly, I was like, why did we ever stop doing that? Like, that was so fun. Even though like we were abusing Friendship Club. And she was like, no, one time, and I don't know if it was her teacher or if it was like on The Office, she was getting called down to Friendship Club and they weren't supposed to say what you were going to because it's a support group. And they had said like, oh, Molly, like time to go to Friendship Club. And she was so embarrassed. She was like, I don't want to go. Which I didn't realize that is why we
over the intercom,
going.
Molly Maloney, it's time to go
to Friendship Club. Yeah, she's like, I don't want to go. I can't go. So we stopped. Yeah. I love Friendship Club. I would do it again. It was so good.
Does Clayton know that story?
Did you know that story, Friendship Club? He did. Yeah. So I do feel bad. Weird. I feel bad for that teacher and I feel bad for everyone else.
And now she's literally probably going to live across the street from you.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life.
I'll have to ask her, be like, do you remember when I did that? I'm really sorry about that.
She's probably, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You
And
can just see her. She's so nice. She was like, wow, really? Like Molly's bullying you? And you're like, yeah, she's so mean.
you know what? I actually do remember there was this one guy that was in friendship club. That needed to be, that should have been there. And he wasn't super nice to us. And I always wondered why. I was like, you're not gonna make any friends that way. But I do, I mean, I would be mean to me too if I knew I was lying to everyone and faking it. So yeah, pretty good times.
Yeah, he was probably like, yeah, you guys are full of shit. Honestly, though, I remember when they sent those out, like there was never an explanation.
It said like, do you want to make friends? Yeah, obviously, I'm new to middle school, even though I've gone to elementary school with these kids. Like, it's not like I'm brand new. Oh, and I think I forgot to say, so on that first day, there were a couple other girls that also didn't get the memo, but they didn't show back up. Like, they didn't continue going to friendship club.
I do remember when this came out to Mom and Kelly, which is our mom and Molly's mom, and they were drinking wine. I think we were all together, and you guys finally.
And I think we told you years later. Like, it wasn't.
No, like Mom and Kelly didn't know until you guys were like in your 20s, like, and that they fessed up over us drinking wine, and it was like, yeah, did you guys know we did this? And they were like, I mean, I think Kelly pissed her pants. Like, she was like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, what a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
You guys just were like, well, we just thought we could hang out more. And
yeah, it was honestly so I could hang out with my friend.
Yeah. Well, and that the fact you didn't sign up together is even better. Like, it's like, yeah, I signed up for friendship club.
And we're pumped. Like, we're so excited. Yeah, we thought we were going to be so popular. It didn't help. So,
it didn't help.
In a way, we did need friendship club, but yeah. So shout out to all the teachers. I think
more so friendship club needed you.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. I regret nothing.
I regret none of this.
Yeah.
I hope when you go to your high school reunion, there's someone there that was like, hey, do you remember when you were in friendship club with me? And you were like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Or ask other people, like, did you know we were in friendship club? And they're probably like, yeah, we thought you were weird.
Yeah, you were weird as shit. Thanks.
Yeah. Whoopsies.
All right. Well, I hope the teachers appreciate this episode. And I hope teachers on your last week, you guys go hard this weekend. We should invite some teacher friends out to my birthday party.
Do you have any?
No.
I don't have any either.
I'm friends with some on Snapchat, but we're not like close enough to be like, come to my birthday party.
Come to my birthday party. Hey, do you want to come? And they're like, no.
So
call
can I just,
club.
Before we wrap the episode, can I just say, because my birthday is next week and it's Memorial Day weekend. It's always like the worst weekend for a birthday because everyone's out of town, like nobody's here. Yeah. And I hate throwing, like, I love throwing other people a birthday party. I don't like throwing like myself a birthday party because I feel it's like a little conceited to be like, it's my birthday, you know?
Yeah.
Also, in trying to invite people to your birthday party, you're like, hey, please come to my birthday party. It's like the saddest thing ever.
If anything, be like, don't say anything about birthday. Just be like, just show up. We're having a little get together. And then they're like, you didn't tell me it was your birthday.
That's probably what I'm going to say. It's just like, hey, we're having a little party at my parents' lake.
Maybe I'll get you a foot.
Maybe they'll get me a foot for my gift. So yeah, so if anyone wants to come to my birthday party, me and Ashton will be there. Here's your invite.
Dad's all worried. He's like, there's gonna be too many people on the boat. And I'm like,
no, there's not gonna be a lot of people. You think I have? I know Mom and Dad, I think, keep thinking it's gonna be like a big party. And I'm like, I mean, I think I maybe have 5 and Ashton has 2.
That's like when I got banned from Airbnb because I wanted to have a sleepover with my friends. And they're like,
for next week.
That's for next week. That's for next week. We'll wait. This isn't even about jobs anymore. This is just about my life. At this
point. The weirdness. So we'll definitely next week have some. No, because we won't have the lake weekend until next weekend. But maybe we'll think about it how we want to do this.
Whatever.
We figure it out. We could record after the birthday party when we're hungover.
At the birthday party.
At the birthday party.
All right, shut up, everyone. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. This was fun.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow our YouTube, like and subscribe, rate and review, all of the above. And we will catch you guys next Monday. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ashton. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was horrible.